This is what your muscles feel like when you're on creatine. And this is what your muscles are like when you're not on creatine. So what is creatine and why would you consider taking it? Creatine is something we actually already produce in our body. So it's not a case of finding something that's alien to the human body and putting it in your protein shake. It's a case of understanding that we can give our body more of this to maximize our potential when it comes to performance, recovery, training, and some other benefits I'll get onto in a second. There are several different types of creatine. If you go online, you'll see loads of different versions, but trust me when I say this, creatine monohydrate, as far as efficacy and cost, is probably your best bet. Which brings me on to your next question. Why would someone take creatine? Some research shows that you could build muscle up to a third quicker if you utilize creatine during your training. The average person could expect to gain between 2 and 3 pounds of lean tissue within a year from just taking creatine. And although some of that would be from water, that's not bad when you think about how easy, cheap, and accessible creatine is. Whilst taking creatine, you can expect a strength increase of up to 8%. And if 8% wasn't an impressive enough increase in strength, you can expect up to a 14% increase in the amount of repetitions you could do of a given weight. So you can take a scoop of creatine right now, and by tomorrow you have all of these gains? Unfortunately, no. So what we need to do when supplementing creatine is get to the point where we can fully saturate our muscles. So let's imagine that this point here, ECS, Elite Creatine Saturation. This can take a long period of time, so what some people do is a loading phase, but what does that mean? If these gains are really important to you, even though the recommended dose for creatine is 5 grams a day, to saturate your muscles quicker, you might even go to 20 grams of creatine a day, 4 times the daily recommended dose. And within a week or even 2 weeks, you could be at creatine saturation to reap all the rewards that you want. However, having that much creatine, especially in one go, causes a bit of stomach upset for the majority of people. So if you are going to go crazy and do the 20 grams of creatine a day, I would split it up into 2, 3, probably even 4 doses. If you're someone that doesn't need instant gratifications from your actions and you're happy to take it smooth and be chilled and be cool, you can just start on the recommended daily dose. It will just take you a longer period of time to get to that elite creatine saturation point. That is completely up to you. Now, if you're someone that's slightly smaller, maybe a lady, not going to assume your gender, 2 to 3 grams per day could be fine. But now, if you're someone slightly bigger, if you've ever been to Thailand and one of the ladyboys has said, oh, a big boy, then you might need slightly more than that amount. Now, although we're at 5 grams, which is that kind of recommended daily dose, me personally, if I'm in, I'm all in. So personally, I aim for about 7.5 to 10 grams of creatine a day. Why aren't you big then? Be kind, all right? There's no need for that. No need to banter me. Oh, not that muscly for a PT. I get it, all right? But it's probably my height. And everyone knows that tall people, because we got long bones, it's harder to make it look like you have a lot of muscle, all right? And I'm one of the only guys on YouTube that's natural. And I know Matt does fitness and Mike Thurston are in better shape, but they're not funny, are they? They haven't got this bants. If I was in Harry Potter, they'd call me Voldemort. Next scene. Now, one thing you will notice, even in the early stages of supplementing creatine, is that you'll experience some weight gain. Not many people really appreciate how heavy water is. 1 liter of water weighs 1 kilogram, just about. So even if you retain a small amount of water throughout the whole body, it's going to have a substantial difference when you step on the scales. So as long as you guys are ready out there for an initial little spike in weight, but don't worry, it's just water, and it's not going to be bloating, it's going to be water held in muscle cells. That's the crazy thing, right? Because sometimes you go to your slimming club, you step on the scales and you've gained a couple pounds and everyone's like, you fat slag, you haven't been doing the work. You've come in here and you're 2 pounds heavier on our scales, get out of here. But the reality is, water fluctuations are so easy. What do you reckon's in there? 1.5 litres? 1.5 litres, I'll do it. When you get what you want, but not what you... It's got to be a litre, a kilogram heavier. What? Come at me, I ain't scared. I'll do anything. I'll punch an old man in public, I'm not afraid. Oh, that's caffeine, all right. As far as creatine timing, there is some evidence to show that mixing creatine and caffeine can limit its efficacy. So if you have the option to maybe take creatine after your workout or later in the evening when there's not caffeine omnipresent, probably going to be better. Now, as far as creatine and potentially hair loss in guys, I don't know because I'm receding anyway, but at the end of the day, would you rather have a strong hairline or the gains? Next stupid question. There are over 1,000 studies on the internet proving that creatine is not only safe, it's effective. Not only are there a plethora of benefits to sporting performance and endurance, plethora, good word, you like that? But there's also emerging evidence coming out to the benefits creatine can have cognitively to the mind and our ability to concentrate, recall memory. And even patients with Alzheimer's are now being supplemented creatine. Now, I'm not on commission. I don't do paid posts. I'm not here with a tub of my protein coming out going, hey guys, use promo code SWOLDEMORT to buy some. I'm here to help you guys. I've got no agendas, no promo codes. If creatine wasn't decent, I wouldn't be putting it in videos. So whether you're male, female, young, old, new to training, old to training, I would strongly recommend that you buy one small pouch of creatine from wherever the hell you want and you give it a go for at least a month and see whether or not you think it has a net benefit or not to your training. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to tell you what to do because I'm not your dad. Actually, some of you I probably could be. But anyway, bye-bye.